The Weekend Squeeze in the city. I'm Kayla.
And I'm Lindsay.
And welcome back to our show. We're so excited to jump in the same way we always do, talking about sports.
While it's not March anymore, the madness certainly isn't over as the Final Four games will be taking place this weekend. Let's start with the women. Friday night will be a battle of the Carolinas as number 3 NC State will take on 1-seeded South Carolina. It will also be a 1-seed versus 3-seed battle on the other side as Caitlin Clark and number 1 Iowa will take on Paige Beckers and number 3 UConn. Now for the men. I have to say I'm actually proud of myself as I picked 3 out of the 4 teams that are remaining to be in the Final Four. The one team that I didn't pick was 1-seeded Purdue, who has been led by Zach Edey. The team that they'll be taking on has been a surprise to most in number 11 NC State, but I saw their run in the ACC tournament prior to March Madness and had a feeling they'd be on a roll, and I was right about that. The team that I picked to win it all is number 1 UConn, who will be taking on 4-seeded Alabama on Saturday night. Bama is known for their football program, but if they can put up a fight against UConn, they'll definitely make a case for themselves being a basketball school as well. Now let's talk NBA. The Knicks beat the Kings Thursday night 120-109. Jalen Brunson led the way for the Knicks with 35 points and 11 assists. The Nets are also coming off a win against the Pacers 115-111. Cam Thomas led the way for Brooklyn with 27 points. Despite the win, the Nets have officially been eliminated from playoff contention. They will face the Pistons Saturday night in the Barclays Center. The Knicks will take on the Bulls Friday night in Chicago. Now let's talk baseball. The Mets got their long-awaited first win of the season on Thursday and in walk-off fashion. Pete Alonso hit the tying homer in the 9th inning and Tyrone Taylor had a base hit down the left field line to drive in Brett Beatty and give the Mets their first win of the season. They will take on the Reds on Friday night for the first of a 3-game set. The Yankees have been rolling at 6-1 so far. They beat the Diamondbacks on Wednesday by a score of 6-5. Aaron Judge drove in his first homer of the season, and Alex Verdugo had a go-ahead home run in extras to contribute to the win for the Yanks. They will take on division rival Blue Jays on Friday, which will be the first of a 3-game set. Now to Kayla with some fun things to do in the city.
This past week, I went to PioPio located in Hell's Kitchen. I went with 2 other people and we got the combo meal, which you'll see a picture of on the screen. There was so much food. There was a whole rotisserie chicken, rice and beans, a salad, plantains. As you can see, everything is there. And it was so much food that we had enough to take home multiple containers. The total of the meal came out to be $60, and personally, the rice and beans was my favorite as I kept adding it to my plate. Overall, I rate the dining experience a 10 out of 10 as the staff was so nice and it was just such a great experience in the restaurant. And then for the food, I would say it was about a 9 out of 10 since I was not used to Peruvian food before, but it was so yummy and I would absolutely recommend it. So yeah, PioPio located in Hell's Kitchen.
And with that, we wrap up this week's episode. As always, make sure to follow us on Instagram at The Weekend Squeeze.
And we'll see you on next week's episode of
The Weekend Squeeze in the city.